Hi, welcome. I'm Lawrence.
I'm Mei.
And welcome to Apartment in Brooklyn.
Today's episode is brought to you by Squarespace. Whether you're showcasing creative work, building a brand, or expanding your business, Squarespace makes it simple for anyone to create a professional-looking website without any hassle. We'll talk more about Squarespace later on.
So when you enter our apartment, we don't have an entryway, so we use this wall next to the door as our entryway where we have a hang-it-all hook where we hang out everyday items from, my dog's harness, hats, tote bags, etc. Because we live in a New York City apartment, we don't have that much storage, so we installed an IKEA storage unit here where we place more bags and different everyday items in here, and it's pretty neat that we get to tuck it away. Next to this, we have a story bookcase from Design Within Reach on display, and on this bookcase, we like to display different decors and trinkets. This is a Japanese lucky cat or Meneki Neko, and we love Smiskis and different types of trinkets. So we have like a calendar next to a red apple, cameras, speakers, and different books that we have on the shelf. And we also, like to have ambient lighting in here. So we also have a IKEA donut lamp. So here in our living space, we have our credenza and a mirror. And the mirror really helps make the space look a bit more spacious and also helps reflect the light that we have coming in from our window. Here in our living space, I have a sectional couch, and this couch perfectly fit in this corner of our space without taking up too much room. And when we first moved in here, we really liked this striped rug that we got from IKEA. And since we got it, we realized that it fit really nicely in our space, but it took too much attention on the ground. So we wanted to bring the attention upwards towards the high ceilings that we have. So we built a bookshelf where we have some books, plants, and different decor items, and on top we have a couple art pieces that I got secondhand from Facebook Marketplace, and these are more abstract paintings from Yves Klein and Mark Rothos. They're both abstract expressionist painters, so we think their paintings look really good in our space and adds a really nice touch of colors of red, pink, and blue. And on this wall here between our windows, we have a custom-made tapestry that Mei made herself. It's a cowboy, and we really love it because we like the color orange a lot, and this tapestry is also reversible, so when we flip it over, it's the inverse of the colors that you see here, which we think is really cool. And in our living space, we also really like the bright windows that we have, so we get lots of sunlight here in the mornings. I'm not sure if you can see out the window today, but we have a tree outside that is really nice, and right now it's in the winter, so the tree has shedded all its leaves, but in the springtime and summertime, it's actually quite nice to be able to look out the window and see the tree, and it flowers during the summer as well. So we also have our Christmas tree up right now. This usually isn't here most of the time, but since we are close to the holidays, we do have a Christmas tree up. And next to the Christmas tree, we have our entertainment area where we have a TV that we really like. Also got this TV off of Facebook Marketplace. It's a Samsung Serif TV. Really like how this TV is designed in terms of its functionality and how it integrates into the space. It looks really nice, and both Mei and I are plant lovers. We have lots of indoor plants, so next to that we have a couple of palms that fit really nicely in this corner of our living room. And on top of the TV, we have a shelf where we're displaying some books and art. I got an art piece from Facebook Marketplace secondhand. It's more of an abstract line painting. And next to that, we have a couple design books. One artist we really like is Jean Julian, and we also have a design book from Hey. And next to our entertainment area, we have our dining area. A chair that I really like that we got from Facebook Marketplace when we first moved in here. One of our first secondhand thrift finds was this red chair. So this red chair is from the 1970s. It's a Charles Pollock inspired steel case chair. And when we first got it, it was meant to be an office chair, but that didn't really fit in my office space, so we decided to bring it out into the living space and use it as a dining room chair. And what we wanted to do with our dining room space is to accentuate the space and make it feel more roomy and spacious. So we got a ceiling light, like a pendant light up here, which is also red to complement our chair, and it's a red pendant light that resembles a flower pot. So it's really nice because when we have dinner in our little space here, we're able to turn on this light and make the room brighter. And right next to our dining area, we have my office space. So in my office space here, it's quite small, so I wanted to maximize the space with my workstation on one side and my shelf on the other side. So quickly about my desk, I work from home a lot, so it was really important for me to have a comfortable and functional setup. So taking comfort as a priority, I really like my office chair. It's a Herman Miller sale office chair, and I also got this off of Facebook Marketplace in New York City. There's always lots of like gems and really great items that you can find on Facebook Marketplace. So a lot of the items I have in my office are also thrifted secondhand from Facebook Marketplace. And this is a standing desk, so it's really great because I get to switch from sitting at my desk to standing. Above my desk, I have a hang it all. A shelf is from Hello Furniture, and I just hang my headphones, my hat, and my everyday film camera. And next to that, I have a couple prints from Router. These are both New York City Metro inspired. Really like the colors and how they blend in my office space here. Behind my desk, I have the Entryway shelf. This shelf is, I believe, considered vintage. I got this secondhand on Facebook Marketplace. It's in oak, and I really like the color because I think it kind of juxtaposes my desk, which is in all black and in gray. And I have lots of cool items that I like to display on my Entryway shelf. A couple of my favorite plants from a fern that I've collected, succulents and ivies, and also showing some different art. I have this print from Drool, and I really like to add different pops of color on the shelf. So I have fruit items that I like to display, like an apple and a banana. I think they look really cute next to one another. Different books and magazines that I have collected. Here I also have one of my favorite film cameras in medium format, Mamiya 645 Super, that I also got from Facebook Marketplace. I have a lamp here from Tom Dixon. Tried to maximize my shelf for both decor and function, and really like how I have designed this corner. And on this side of my office space, I have my guitar collection. So I am a musician, and I used to play in the band with my partner Mei. I play the guitar, she also plays the guitar and sings, so we have together accumulated a guitar collection. We really like how we have our guitars hung up here. I think it looks quite nice, and oftentimes when I'm working from home and I have extra time or get bored, I pick up one of the guitars and I just start playing. So yeah, this is my office space.
This is our kitchen space. Starting kind of over here, we have our coffee collection. I worked in coffee roasting for about 6 years in Seattle before we moved here. So we like to keep multiple types of beans on hand and also kind of use that as like our rotating decor over here. Moving over in this direction, I also really enjoy cooking. So we have some cookware displayed, and then also this Dunk's pot. That's like a really beautiful example of mid-century modern design. It was designed in the 1950s. That I think just looks really beautiful here. But for the most part, we tried to keep the kitchen like very clean and very open. We wanted our counters to be as empty as possible because the space is very open and leads into our living space. We just wanted it to be very peaceful. So going into our hallway, it is a long space and not a lot of natural light reaches back here. We're not normally big light people, but we have it on just for the sake of the video so you can see what you're looking at. It is a very narrow space as well, and we are both people who enjoy fashion. We have a lot of shoes, and to store the shoes, we put together 4 of these IKEA shoe shelves, which just kind of keeps it nice and neat and very close to the wall, which is something we really like, and I like how sleek it looks here too.
Yeah, and above the shoe shelves, we have our calendar. We really like this calendar. It's from Paquetto. They make these large calendars where you get to customize it, and each calendar has a print of a different color for each month. So we always have 4 months on display, and we really like the setup we have in this hallway with the calendar, so that way we can see what we have going on for a certain week or for a certain month. So yeah, we really like this calendar too because it brightens up the space and adds another pop of color into the hallway. hallway. So down this hallway, we have our washroom on the left. Not much to show here, and we also have another door for storage. Again, not too much to show here, but this hallway does lead into our bedroom. So let's take a look into our bedroom.
This is our bedroom. Coming into this room, it is a very spacious room, so we weren't totally sure how to design it at first, but we did decide to kind of section up the room with rugs. So over here is like our bed space. We wanted our bed to be just our place of peace. New York is really chaotic a lot of times, so we wanted somewhere that we could really just relax and sleep well. But above our bed, I made a couple of punch needled tufted pieces to bring more color into this corner of the room without making it too busy. And then over here is just kind of like some storage things, some plants. Up here, we have some art. My little sister made this for me and we framed it recently. It's a really nostalgic piece made out of perler beads. This piece is something I made to go alongside with it. It is hand knit in wool, cotton, and like a couple of other fibers. It's really inspired by a lot of vintage quilting patterns, but it's in tarsia knit and it was a lot of fun to make. I got this basket when I was visiting the place that my grandparents had their first couple of years of marriage and their honeymoon, so it's like a sweet reminder of family and a really fun trip that we took together. Over here, we have this playful mirror. We still wanted to keep with like the cozy, calm vibes. I thrifted this lamp off of Facebook Marketplace before we even moved into this place. I just knew I wanted something like space age, mid-century modern, and this definitely fits the bill for that. On this side, we have this closet, and then there's also like an open storage space above. It's really ugly if you put anything in it, so we wanted to find a way to make it look nice and still keep it very functional. So what we did was we got these linen blend curtains to go almost all the way up to the ceiling, and I think it really did the trick and like looks very nice.
Yeah, and we had to install this because before it was just an open space into the closet and the storage, so we wanted a way to cover it up, and yeah, finding these curtains was great. And right beside our door and in between our closet space, we have our TV. It's a Samsung frame, and it's in our bedroom because we like to stay in and get cozy a lot, so it's right in front of our bed where we can have movie nights. Yeah, it's quite nice. We do spend a lot of time in our room. And next to our bed, we have our lounge chair. We spend a lot of time in the room, and I usually, lounge on this chair while I'm reading a magazine, listening to my vinyl.
Another really cool feature about our bedroom is we do have these same tall matching windows with our living space that I think are really beautiful. You'll notice that this one is a little bit different than the other two, and that's because this window is actually a door. It leads down these steep stairs into our backyard, and it's just like one of those fun, like New York style backyards that you really wouldn't see anywhere else. The door, I'll step up and show you. I'm 5'3" and I have to bend down to get into this doorway. We hosted a party back there once, and it was really funny seeing all of our friends shuffle through. Most of them were taller than me, and then have to go down the stairs to get to the yard. It was very much like an Alice in Wonderland type of experience. It feels a little bit silly to have to go through a window in the bedroom to get to the yard, but it was a really fun and like joyous party.
So on this side of the bedroom, on this entire wall, we have a vintage IKEA shelving unit called the IKEA Svalfnas. We found this shelf on Facebook Marketplace. We were still living in our last apartment when I saw this listing go up, and the person that was selling it, he was selling it for $170. And for a shelving system like this, it was actually a crazy deal. We got really lucky with getting it, and we really like it because it fits perfectly on this wall and it's customizable. So it's a modular shelf where you get to customize each of the shelves, where it fits and how high it goes. So we really like how we have set it up here where we're able to display various decor and trinkets that we have. And I'll actually let Mei talk about some of the decor items we have.
Yeah, so we have a collection of things that we've just kind of accumulated over the years. Starting over here, we have a collection of red things. My grandmother is Japanese Japanese, and so I have this Japanese traditional toy. It's called kendama. It's like a reflex toy that she would always play with to keep her reflexes sharp. So I think really fondly of her when I see that. This, I think my mom got in like a cereal box and I just thought it was really cute, so I kept it. This is a daruma. It's like a Buddhist symbol of perseverance. When you have a big goal in life, you fill out one of the eyes. And when you accomplish that goal, you fill in the other one. So we still have a goal to complete. Over here, we have my collection of Sunny's Angels. I have more of them, but I kind of limit myself to displaying them on one shelf. So it's kind of always changing which ones I have out. I think they're very cute. The design is originally inspired by like the Kewpie doll, which you might recognize from Japanese Kewpie mayo. It's originally a design that a woman in New York Times, she designed like this little Kewpie baby, and it's Kewpie for Cupid. And for some reason, Japanese media loved that baby so much that they just like ran with it. And it's just become this like pop culture icon. So I love that it has like roots in New York design as well as Japanese design. And also they're just like really cute.
Yeah, and beneath that we have our taxi lamp, and this taxi lamp means a lot to me because it's actually a taxi lamp that they put on top of taxis in Hong Kong. I grew up in Hong Kong, so it's really nice for me to have this lamp here because I'm able to have a piece of Hong Kong with me at home. And if you haven't been to Hong Kong and taking any taxis there, their taxis are quite symbolic. They're these red taxi cabs and they all have this lamp on top. So we thought getting this lamp would be a great addition to our space and, you know, add some more light and color. We love it being in the center of our shelf. Beneath that, we have my record player here, and in the center of it, certain vinyl records, the artwork. I like to use that as an art piece. So depending on what I'm in the mood to listen to in a certain week, I would have different albums.
Yeah, it's just a really fun part of the shelf is that a lot of the pieces are always changing and we can swap them out and always like keep it interesting. Over here we have some glass orbs that we actually made for an anniversary that we had like years ago back in Seattle. We did like a couples glass blowing thing, and I made this one and Lawrence made this one, and so I feel like it's cute that we get to continue displaying those in our home. I love how it looks with this orb light because I feel like it looks planetary, and I just think it's like another really fun element to the shelf. Over here I kind of have a mix between some fun decor, another one of the Manakineko Shiba toys, and then as well as like I have some upcoming projects. I'm a knitwear designer and I work in a yarn store currently teaching knitting and other fiber arts. So I like to keep some of my works in progress on display, as well as some tools kind of hidden in here. On this side over here, I have my workspace. We put it in our bedroom because it's not a workspace that I use every single day, but I do use it to plan my upcoming design projects. I have a flatbed knitting machine here that I love to use. I find this pegboard to be like really fun because I get to display my upcoming projects. I'll make a little sample to make sure that what I'm making is going to be the right size that I want it to be. And then I get to display the samples like my upcoming works. And then over time, it becomes kind of a scrapbook of works past. That is another thing that's always changing. This is another Facebook Marketplace find that we have displayed in our space. This is an Eames molded chair. Since this is right in the middle of our room, we really wanted to put a beautiful chair here that we could look at and admire. To contrast that, we added the black round rug underneath as a way to kind of designate my workspace zone in our room, as well as really make the chair color pop because it's such a beautiful bright orange.
So we moved into this apartment April of this year, and this is a pre-war building that was built in 1930s. So it has a lot of character, and when we first saw this place, we fell in love. We were moving from a high-rise building where our space was more of like a cookie-cutter apartment. So when we saw this space, we felt very welcome. We really liked the high ceilings, the space that it provided.
Our last apartment was really nice. I really enjoyed the space. It was very clean, but the issues that we had were like living in a one-bedroom is not great for like long term for us, I think. So moving into this space, we really wanted to focus on creating a very livable and natural space for us. So we really wanted to focus on bringing in a lot of cheer through our design. So we wanted to add a lot of color with a lot of like closed storage. We wanted to make it feel very playful and a space that feels good to be in, because I do feel like your living space really affects your outlook and the way that you feel every day. That was something that was really important to us, and I think so far so good.
Yeah, and when we met, we were actually living in Seattle, and we dated for about a year before we decided to move in together, and at the time our styles were very different. I was more of a minimalist, really like modern designs, and Mei was definitely more of a maximalist than I was, and she was also really into mid-century modern. So over the years since we have lived together for the past 5 years, we have found the right balance, I think, in how we wanted to design and curate our space. So I think our space right now, it's more balanced between both of our styles of like minimalism with maximalism and very modern with different pops of color. I'm Lawrence. Thank you so much for coming on this tour of our home. If you want to see more of our space and the design changes that we make, you can follow us on Instagram. We have an account called brooklyn.apartment. We post on there quite regularly, so give us a follow and we'd love to connect with you on there.
I'm Mei, and if you'd like to see more of my work, I post pretty regularly at mei.knit on Instagram, and thank you so much for coming to our home.
Have you been thinking about creating your own website? Well, it doesn't have to be hard. Squarespace makes it simple to design, launch, and grow your online presence all in one place. With their design intelligence, you can start with a professional template and customize it to fit your vision perfectly. Whether you're building a portfolio, an online store, or something completely unique, Squarespace gives you the tools you need to bring your ideas to life. Managing payments is just as easy with Squarespace Payments. From credit cards to Apple Pay, they offer flexible options for you to get paid. And in eligible countries, you can even let your customers buy now and pay later with Afterpay and Klarna. And to help your site get noticed, Squarespace includes built-in SEO tools so your audience can find you faster. No plugins needed. Head to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/theartofinteriors to save 10% on your first purchase of a website or domain. A big thank you to Squarespace for supporting our channel and helping us to continue creating videos like this.